we see a little bit of expansion in iodine demand, a little bit more increase of production, kind of like from Iofina, but we anticipate iodine prices to be strong here moving forward.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Iofina CEO, Dr. Tom Baker. Tom, very good to speak with you. You've just posted record first half production. What were the key factors behind that strong performance, especially after a slow first quarter?
Yes, Stephen. Yeah, we're pleased with our first half production of 305 metric tons, up about 10% year on year. And for us, it's just execution and working with our partners. So as you mentioned, we got off to a little bit of a slow start. Some of it was weather related and got us off to a little bit less production than we anticipated in the first quarter of the year. But in the second quarter, with working with our partners, getting a good solid brine supply to our plants, executing our technology in order to recover the iodine out of the brine water that comes up with oil and gas. We were able to actually exceed our expectations slightly that we put out into the market early in the second quarter. So very pleased with the numbers year over year. In the second quarter, we made 181 metric tons, and that's about a 20% or 19% increase year on year from our 7 plants in operation in Oklahoma. So very pleased that we were able to execute our technology and produce iodine a little bit above what we expected.
IO11 is about to come online. How quickly do you expect it to ramp up? And what impact will it have on second half outputs?
So IO11 will be our 8th plant in operation. It's in our new core area of Oklahoma, in the central Oklahoma area, where near the most recent plants, IO9 and IO10. So right now, IO11 is undergoing brine water testing through the system. So we're actually taking the brine water that we will be isolating iodine from, putting it through our system, making sure all the systems work well. We have all the safety components in place, and then I anticipate we'll be producing iodine from that plant this month. So very excited that this plant has been commissioned. What that's going to mean is that in the second half of the year, as we did in the first half of the year, we expect a record amount of production for us. We always produce a little bit more in the second half of the year. In the first half of the year, the weather helps us, the temperatures help us. But with a new plant online, our current range is about 400 to 440 metric tons in the second half of the year. It's a little bit bigger range than we typically give out, but with a new plant online, there's a little bit of uncertainty on timing and how that plant will ramp up. So I think that's a pretty reasonable range for us to be in. And as the second half of the year goes on, we can narrow that range down a little bit for our investors.
Tom, you already started planning IO12. What can you tell us about timelines and the opportunity that site represents?
Yeah, so IO12, I'll say, how can I say it? The talks are in a good place. We're looking to finalize everything, including the terms of that agreement with a potential partner. The location we have kind of homed in on, and we're working on timelines as well. So right now we're expecting to being able to come up with a commercial agreement here soon, and then be able to communicate to the market some timelines on how IO12 might work. So we fully expect IO12 to be started before the end of the year. And everything that we know so far right now leads us to that kind of conclusion. So be looking forward to updating the market. We've been executing growth plans of our iodine plants. IO11 is the 3rd plant in the central Oklahoma area since June of 2023. And we're going to continue to prudently grow our operations and make more iodine and sell it into the market, which is doing well right now.
As you said, the market's doing well right now, with iodine prices holding above $70 a kilogram. How's market demand shaping your pricing strategy and your customer engagement right now?
Right now, we have an established core group of customers that not only buy our iodine, but the derivatives that we make in our Covington, Kentucky facility at Iofina Chemical as well. And as we continue to bring online iodine, we are expanding not only our customer base, but the volumes that we have with our current customers. Right now, the iodine market is fairly strong and fairly stabilized. Over the past year plus, iodine prices have been in a kind of a steady range that we've seen, and we're seeing good demand in the market. I think supply is kind of stabilized. So we anticipate iodine prices in the market not changing very much throughout the rest of the year. We see a little bit of expansion in iodine demand, a little bit more increase of production, kind of like from Iofina, but we anticipate iodine prices to be strong here moving forward. And looking forward to giving out our first half numbers sometime in the third quarter here to the market.
Look forward to discussing those with you in the release. Tom, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thanks, Stephen.
Tom Becker is the CEO of Iofina.